Hey guys, welcome back. So, it's been a little while. As you can see, a lot has changed since I made my last video about my micro setups. So, I'll go through some of the small things first, and then we'll get into the big stuff in the box here. So first, I've got the same little tin I had before. I have a couple of other things in there that I would like to mention. I discovered that there is something you can do with this. So you've got your regular Alien Flight bind plug that's very small. It's this little tiny black thing in my hand here. There. That is the regular bind plug. I have a 1.25 millimeter micro JST male connector that I cut off both the wires, soldered together, and heat shrunk, and that works just as well for your bind connector for your Alien Flight. And I have an Alienwee Classic Narrow that I'll get to when we get in the box. This, it did not come with a bind plug. The guy bought it from, really nice guy, but he forgot to stick it in there. So this is a Micro Loci or Wakera connector that I did the same thing to, cut the wires, soldered together, and heat shrunk. And then the same old stuff in the tin, heat shrink. I've got, connectors and stuff extra in here. So that hasn't changed a whole lot. Then I found this organizer in my closet when I was cleaning my closet. And I've got, tons of hubs and props and a few Wakeras and others. So I've got the Wakeras and everything else in here, but I've got, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. All your different colors, green, black, blue, red, and clear. Clears are my favorite, of course, so I have a million of those. Although not a million anymore after all the building I've been doing and learning to fly FPV. So that's what's in this box. Then my dad was on a sales call, or he was doing his job selling and fixing microscopes and stuff, and he brought home this. They used it to store samples, but they didn't need it anymore. So I took all my light bulbs from all my boxes and I put them into one box right here. So I've got my Turnigy Nanotech 750 milliamp hours that have both connectors, JST and Micro Loci, that I really like because that means that I can use JST with my newer ones that I'm putting JST on, and Micro Loci with my old ones that still have that. And, of course, my old 500s like I did in the last video. The cheap 500s that I had for my Hubsons. 150s and 100s and stuff for FPV in here. This is to power my my goggles over here. 1250 milliamp hour 2S, of course. And then these are for a model that's in there. These came from Evan Kwong when he sent me a couple of other things. These are batteries special made for his Kopter frame. They are, 350 milliamp hours. They're really flat, and they fit really well into the frame, of course, because they're custom made for it. They're JST, and they have a nice black connector. I don't know why I like that so much, but I just love that black connector. And then I didn't have any way to charge JST, so I took one of these, a male Micro Loci and a female JST, and boom, now you've got a charger. So I've got, a couple of those cheap single chargers, and then one of these that charges 6. I've tested it. The adapter works just as well with that. And, my charger for my little Micro JST, my little 1S FPV batteries. Then, these bad boys are my Quantum V2 Pros. When they brought out the Cyclops, within a week or two, they went down to about 35 bucks. So I was like, heck yeah! So I got a pair of these, put them together, and, you put the foam so that it fits your face well, and they're a bit cumbersome and heavy on your face, but, it takes a couple flights to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it's fine. And then I've just got a cheap clover leaf that was sent to me when I bought something from another guy, Anthony Contello. Thanks, man. I use this antenna. It's really great. I even painted it to match. So that's that, and then, of course, I've got my RX004 Aomway 32 channel 5.8 gigahertz receiver with built-in DVR, which I really love. I required a little bit of soldering to get the right battery connectors. So yeah, these guys are great. You would think that they were cheap because of course the low price, but they're actually really, really awesome, and they're definitely great for your first goggles at this price. So that brings us to the star of the show, SpinTech. As you saw in the beginning of my video, big announcement. he is my new sponsor. I never have to buy motors again from SpinTech. He will send them to me. And we're just going to open this up. And as you can see, we've got quite a lot more in here than we did a month ago, a couple of months ago. Gee, I don't even remember when I made that video. But we've got removable zip ties that I use for protecting my antennas. In some cases, as you can see on these guys, I've got them. It actually does a pretty good job. Q-tips, my configuration cable, and of course, you know, my Devo, which now it went from one profile to two profiles to, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 profiles. We have 5 profiles now, one for each of these guys. So that's, you know, trusty Devo. Haven't had any issues with that so far. I absolutely love that thing. Best $60 I spent in my life. And we're going to go for this guy next. I'm going to pull him up closer to the camera. This is... Focus, please. Thank you. This is the Kopter by Evan Kwong. And as you can see, I'm working on a rainbow. So far I have red, orange, yellow, green, and aqua. I just need blue and purple. But I went with yellow on this because I just think it looks like lightning fast. This thing is only like 42 grams with the lipo that he sends. It's crazy. And I'm going to add FPV to it. Fingers crossed, later this week. I ordered it from the U.S. warehouse, Banggood, and last time I did that, I got it here inside a week. So, these batteries I was talking about earlier, it's a really smart design. So it's got this thinner, flexible plastic, and you can slide this right in here into this tray. Focus, please. Thank you. And look at that. It just holds right in. It's got its own little tray that he designed for it. And he includes this special JST cable in black that has sticky foam on the bottom of it, so you can mount it here. And specs on this guy, he's running, you know, these 350 milliamp hour batteries, and you can see the light through there, which is kind of cool. He's got, of course, SpinTech motors for the win, hubs and clear props, the Kopter frame, of course, and a Siski flight controller, like a couple of these other guys are, because as much as I love Aliens, the two drawbacks are they're more expensive and they're harder to get a hold of. You have to wait until somebody's selling them. So that's 3. That's red, yellow, and aqua. Then we're going to go to this guy. This, I'm calling him the Green Goblin. You'll notice grass stains on the propellers if you look closely, which actually matches the color scheme. But here's this guy, sent to me by Jack Seymour. More on him later for sure. Is the SOSX Aero 1 frame, printed in TPU, which I had never experienced before. If you felt 3D printed stuff, think again, because this stuff is like rubber. It's flexible, it's freaky. But that's this. Inside, I've got an Alien Wii Classic Narrow Revision 2.4 from Anthony Contello. He included so much extra stuff and went above and beyond when he sent me that. He's an awesome guy. But jammed inside that tiny little canopy, we have the flight controller, Lemon RX Spectrum satellite, a Pololu voltage regulator, an FX758-2 200 milliwatt video transmitter, and the camera. And it took me probably 15 to 20 minutes to find the perfect fit for everything to be nicely, comfortably in there, not squashed, but it took a very long time for me to get it to actually be able to close and fly it, but it works great. I've got just this cheap antenna from Banggood, of course, that I've got colored green like the rest of it, like the edges and everything. And this thing is just a joy to fly. When it was line of sight, this thing could do slow flips. This thing could kind of do almost like barrel rolls, like a plane. It was the coolest thing. And it could probably still do that. This thing is awesome. And the punch with SpinTech motors, of course, that I've got here, is amazing. I love Micromotor Warehouse, and I will definitely use them again. But SpinTech, now that he's my sponsor, definitely a great deal there, but also they are just amazing motors. They stay cooler somehow than most motors do, and yet they give you so much better performance. I am absolutely blown away by these motors. So that's the green Goblin. That's red, yellow, green, and aqua, and then we have orange. So you can see this is getting quite chewed up here. I fit 5 quads into this one case. This is the Rotorious FPV Spec 80. Sent to me, discounted price by Jack Seymour. He decided to send me that Arrow 1 over there for only paying postage. And he said, you know what? I got a few of these frames that, I designed. I got a few left. I'll give it to you, at a discount or whatever. And this is right after Brexit. And he even made a post about how, the pound is going down and it's just not looking good for their currency. And he was having a dilemma with, the production costs and then selling costs and people not buying it if it was too expensive. And even with that, he sent me this at a discounted price. He's an amazing guy. And I had so many troubles with this thing, trying to turn the flight controller, which I ended up just turning it back to facing forward. I had to try to turn it 135 degrees, whatever. He stayed up, at all hours helping me fix it. What an amazing guy. But as you can see, this is orange. He also included an orange AIO camera mount and a blue AIO camera mount with blue motor mounts and stuff. So he included a whole set of orange and a whole set of blue, which is amazing, in addition to the original camera mount. So, of course, I'm running the usual stuff, Banggood camera mount, FX758, Pololu, all that, Siski, and then Spintech motors. It's kind of be natural for you to say by now. And then I actually had my old RX004 receiver. I had the antenna still, and I'd been hearing about how you can get really durable, just like linear antennas instead of circular polarized ones, which makes sense that they're more durable. But I've been seeing them, and I've been like, you know what? Why am I paying $5? Which doesn't sound like a lot, but every single time I want to build one, that's an extra, $5 that I got to do the antenna for, and I got to protect them, and that adds all that weight, a few grams sometimes, and it's like, why not just try this? So I chopped it open with, a hatchet and pliers, and somehow I didn't damage this thing, and I got it out, and it actually works great. It's on a slightly different frequency than the others, but it's only by, 30 megahertz or something. It's a very small difference. But that's the linear antenna. I've obviously done the orange edges and such with this. He included also, a blue and orange TPU Siski flight controller holder. And there are supposed to be 4 standoffs, but I removed one so that I could get to the micro USB port. And I put micro low-C connector on this. I was going to do JST, but I just ordered some Eachine batteries. And, that's pretty much all I have to say. Over here I've got a pile of colorful quads, as you can see, and those are my micros, man. He is called the Inspector, SPECK, after the name of the frame. So yes, when you see that, that is not a typo. He is the Inspector. It's kind of a pun. I did the green Goblin, of course, because he's bright freaking green. I absolutely love how bright green that is. And let me see if I can get it to work. If I plug in the battery, the whole canopy glows. Before it was even better because it didn't have the FPV gear blocking it, but the 2 cyan blue lights on the front of the Alien Wii light up the canopy, and I think it's really cool. And of course the Kopter is just the Kopter because I actually really like that name. Benjamin Kwong did a very good job. And he sent that to me for review. So I didn't pay anything for that. I just paid for the Siski, 2 batteries, and I think there was something else that I paid for. And he sent with it so much other stuff, like a long antenna, because apparently you can mod the Siski to have a longer antenna. He sent, a bunch of different, rubber bands and connectors and sticky foam, all sorts of stuff that I can use for this, and I'm really excited. And I want to thank everyone that's been part of this hobby, and everybody that sent me anything in this video, for free or not. I can't even remember all the names. Anybody that helped me set any of it up, all of it is just absolutely amazing. So, yeah, beautiful evening. I'm gonna go do some flying, edit this video, and maybe upload it sometime late tonight. So, just keep being awesome, guys, and thank you for everything.